Core 1 CompTIA A+. A printer is behaving erratically and you suspect a faulty parallel port. Which tool can you use to test the parallel port? Loopback plug. While traveling in a car, a user who has unlimited data plan on a smartphone opens a wireless connection. This is a hotspot. You need to provide DHCP and file share services to a physical network. These services should be deployed using virtualization. Virtual servers. The fan is a 450 watt power supply is malfunctioning. What action should you take? Remove and replace the power supply. Which of the following are true concerning the virtual desktop infrastructure, VDI? In the event of a widespread malware infection, the administrator can quickly re-image all user desktops on a few central servers. User desktop environments are centrally hosted on servers instead of on an individual desktop system. What is the approximate bus speed of DDR2 memory rated at PC2 5300? 333 MHz. A user hibernates a laptop after giving a video presentation. Now when it resumes, the display flickers for a moment. You can connect an external display device and toggle the dual display function key. You just purchased 10 new notebook systems for your user. You're concerned that users will leave the system on for long periods of time. Display burn-in. You need to configure a screensaver on each system. Which of the following devices would you add to a computer if you needed to take inventory at a retail store by scanning the UPC symbols barcode reader? A user reports that her monitor stopped working. While troubleshooting the issue, you discover a bad video card in the system. You replace the card and connect the monitor cable to the card. First, you should test the solution. Cloud services can also offer virtual network infrastructures, which include a variety of virtual components, virtual network interface, and virtual firewall, and virtual router. This was a match. Virtual network interface uses Ethernet standards to transmit and receive frames on the network. Virtual firewall implemented within the hypervisor to monitor and filter traffic on the virtual network as it flows between virtual machines. The virtual VLAN can be defined within the virtual switch and associated with specific hosts. The virtual router can support multiple networks on each of its interfaces, unlike the physical version. The virtual switch builds a table that identifies which MAC addresses are connected to each of its ports. You have a computer system with a dual-core processor. You would like to upgrade to a quad-core. First, you need to read the motherboard documentation to identify which processors are supported. Which of the following network services or protocols uses TCP/IP port 22? This is a secure shell. The secure shell service uses TCP/IP port 22, SSH. Which term refers to the portion of the hard drive where print jobs are stored before going to the print device? Print query. You have purchased an LED monitor and connected it to the HDMI port on your computer using an HDMI cable. The images displayed on the screen appear to be overly large. You should set the display resolution to the native resolution of the monitor. You have an inkjet printer attached to your laptop computer in your home office. With the document now ready, you press the print option. Unfortunately, the printer stops printing. You should remove the jammed paper following the regular path of the paper. A Soho customer finds that their VoIP conversations frequently break up and become unintelligible. You should change QoS settings to give VoIP traffic more priority. Poor VoIP performance is likely due to insufficient bandwidth to support both video streaming and voice over internet calls. You manage a network that has multiple internal subnets. You run ipconfig/all and see the following. We think this is caused by incorrect default gateway. What is the role of the CMOS in a modern computer? It saves information about system devices. You work as an IT administrator. Sam wants to run a virtual machine. You need to decide whether to install buffered or non-buffered RAM. Which of the following best describes the reason? Buffered memory reduces the load on the memory controller and allows the system to be more stable. Which statements are true of processor cache? L3 is shared between all cores. L1 is typically unique to a processor core. A technician is running a network above a drop ceiling. Is also used for ventilation. You need a Plenum rated Cat6a. Plenum rated Cat6a cables can transfer data at 10 gigabytes and can be placed in plenum spaces used for ventilation. Which of the following statements are true regarding power supply wattage? The watt rating indicates how much power can be supplied to various devices. The wattage requirement for each individual circuit uses formula watt equals voltage times ampere by amps. Assuming the same operating frequency, what are the advantages of DDR3 over DDR2? DDR3 doubles the data transfer rate of DDR2. DDR3 uses less power than DDR2. This is matching virtualization implementations. You're putting together a system for a graphic artist and you need to make sure you get a display that meets her needs. The display needs to run cool and be power efficient. So we pick LCD display with IPS panel. The LCD displays with IPS panel have the best color reproduction quality and viewing angles among LCDs. TN panels have imperfect color reproduction due to the fact that only 6 bits per color can be displayed at poor viewing angles. A user is having problems connecting to other computers using host names. Which of the following commands will best help you troubleshoot this problem? NSLOOKUP. Use NSLOOKUP to troubleshoot DNS name resolution problems. Use ARP to view information about MAC addresses and their corresponding IP addresses. Use NetStat network statistics to display network connections, both incoming and outgoing. A user has created a complex spreadsheet. Only the top half of each page was printed and the bottom half was blank. You should install additional memory into the printer. Which of the following best describes a key feature of the DisplayPort interface used for connecting video monitors to computers? DisplayPort can send both video and audio signals over the same cable. 30. One of the users has called to complain about her notebook computer. She reports that it displayed a message indicating that the battery was low and then it shut down by itself even though it was plugged into a wall outlet. You should verify that the AC adapter LED light is lit when plugged into the wall outlet.